Very welcome to this seminar. My name is Stig Elverman. I'm the acting director of the Swedish Institute in Alexandria. Some of you already know us well. For others, it is the first time that we have the pleasure to see you in one of our seminars. This is the second seminar we are arranging together with Tunisian partners in Tunisia this week. So we are very, very happy to be here. And I want this time also to extend a very big thank you to our Tunisian partners who made this possible, the CUAB and the Youth Without Borders. For me personally, it is 35 years since I was last in Tunisia. You realize how old I am when I say that. And at the time, I was actually working in a neighboring country in Libya. Came over here, so it is a particular pleasure to see our Libyan friends with us for the first time. I hope you will all find this seminar a successful and useful one. It's certainly youthful. At least from my perspective. What is the Swedish Institute in Alexandria? Well, some of you know it well, have attended a number of our seminars. As I said, for others it is the first time. We are celebrating our 12th anniversary a little bit later this year. We were created in the year 2000. As a result of an agreement between the Swedish and Egyptian governments to provide a platform for dialogue between Europe and the Middle East and North Africa, and also provide a platform for inter-Arab dialogue, which we also take as a serious a challenge and an opportunity. Since we were created, we have arranged hundreds of conferences on various topics with thousands of participants from, well, I could say all over the world, almost. We have dealt with a number of different topics. Our mandate is very wide, and we can discuss almost anything that is of common interest to our two regions. The Institute started off in the year 2001, I think, with a big conference on conflict prevention. And just to mention a few of the topics we have dealt with since then, we were the first institution in the region that we know of anyway, that dealt with the ombudsman question as a start. That was quite a long time ago. We have also dealt with everything from migration to education and so on. So you name it, we have discussed most things, except the purely technical questions. We don't go into medicine and engineering and those things. But we do discuss city planning as a democratic exercise. We recently had a big conference on that in Alexandria with participants from a number of the major cities around the Mediterranean. In the last few years, after the changes in this part of the world, we have concentrated very much on questions on democracy, human rights, and gender issues. Your presence here, I think, is an example of the activities that we do conduct. But we are very open to suggestions. We are to a very great extent, our activities are determined on requests on our services, so to speak. So think about it these few days. if you want to pursue any particular question and topic, let us know, and we'll see if it's possible to do it. And we can have the conferences in Alexandria, we can have them in other places, we can have them in Sweden. So think about it and let us know what you think about it. Well, there are many more things I could talk about, but I really don't want to take too much time away from the important topic that you are going to discuss. So immediately I leave the floor to the Deputy Director of the Institute, Cecilia Sterneman, will tell us some more practical details.
Okay. Thank you, Stig. I'm Cecilia, and I met quite a lot of you earlier. This program started with another name, Youth in Politics, last year, April 2011, with a meeting between Egyptians and Swedes only in the aftermath of the revolution, to share experiences from both sides. For the Swedes, it was very important to come and listen to the experiences of the Egyptian at that time. The next meeting we had was in June the same year, last year, in Sweden, where the Egyptians and 5 young journalists also joined, and to look at how the political life and in particular youth associations work in Sweden. And then we met last year for the 3rd meeting in October, where the Tunisians were with us. And now today we are here in Tunisia with Libyans, so it's wonderful. The group is growing. It's not the same people. A few are with us, a few were not with us in Sweden, and so on. But we want to build on the network and the relationships among you. We changed the name to Citizens for Peace and Justice because when we met in October, many raised the issue of, but we are not all political part of political parties in our countries. Rather, we work with social change through our NGOs, for example, and as activists. So it was better to maybe tone down the political aspect of the whole meeting. Also, for reasons of making it a little bit less politicized due to all the the developments and so on, and how they criticize youth for maybe going to other countries and so on. It's a little bit sensitive, so we toned down a little bit of the political tone in the whole meeting. But the program aims to bring together youth to share experiences and share strategies of how youth can take more of a central role in decision-making, and also to promote and inspire a sense of Arab Euro citizenship. There's lots of interest, at least I know in Sweden and among many European countries, to learn from the experiences in the Arab world and what we call the Arab Spring. And also to build networks that will be maintained between Europe and the Middle East. And this is what the Swedish Institute and Alex is trying to do, try to build this understanding between the two regions. And also to build your capacities and the capacities for the organizations that you represent. Youth is underrepresented in most places where decision-making and politics takes place, and in particular in the Arab world. And although youth are the majority, I've heard numbers that 60% of the populations are under 25. Might differ from the countries represented here, but at least that's a signal to how unbalanced the youth participation is. And globalism, we can't escape it. I've been at a conference for 4 days in Hammamet here in Tunisia before I came here, that brought together researchers from the whole Arab Union. And the middle age was above 70, and there were very few women. There were one researcher that was under 30 years of age, and maybe 3 that was under 40. So it's very, very unbalanced in that. And I can understand when you want to bring together the high-level researchers from the Arab countries, of course you go for those who have a name and are well-known and so on. But I think it has to change, and that was raised also. And with regards to the Arab Spring, there were loads of discussions regarding that. And for the Gulf countries, for example, there was one person who said that, well, it will come to the Gulf countries also, because for how long can you keep youth living one life at home with globalism and another life in public in relation to the state? And I think that's very much true. So let's see what happens. I mean, we don't have the answers. And that's the thing also with these meetings. We, as the Swedish Institute, we are not giving any answers or anything. You shape the answers together here. And also the content has been developed through communication with you. You are the ones who have set the agenda for these 3 days. And you are the ones who will set the agenda for possible meetings in the future. So those coming 3 days, we are going to focus on lots of discussion. We left lots of room for discussions, and of course free time is something that most of you, I guess, value also. So we've tried to leave a little bit of space for that in the programs. We tried to finish a little bit earlier, and on Sunday we finish after lunch, which means that you have the rest of the day there to go and explore Tunis. We also have a guided tour on Saturday, and we will hear a little bit more about that from Fedia, I think, when she arrives. I don't have the details about that. But today we will start by listening to the Egyptian, Tunisian and Libyan experiences, and also the Swedish context. And then after lunch we will move to citizenship, democracy and constitutionalism. We have Professor Nabiha Gerard, who is coming to talk about that from a Tunisian perspective. And then tomorrow we have organization, capacity building and long-term strategies. And Dr. Zahra Langri, she's coming from Libya. She will arrive later on today. And then on Sunday we have Dr. Zuhair Azouzi to talk about how to promote youth participation in politics and decision making. But you see, most of the time will be in group discussions, and we have divided you into groups that you're sitting in now. But I think that the group, they are changing, yes. I will leave the word to you now, Manuel, because you will tell the group about the logistical practicalities and so on. Thank you.
Thank you, Cecilia. There's really not much to say about the logistics. I think everything is pretty much clear, I hope at least. But if you have any reimbursements to make, please talk to Mr. Emad Salib, standing there in the corner. Yes. And he will help you with the payments, and make sure to bring your receipts to him, and also sort that out as quick as possible. And today the bus will be leaving from here at 7:30 p.m. And it would be good if we could all try to meet outside here in the lobby at that time, so we will not be late to argue. And as you can see at the program, we will start with a short introduction of all of you participants, and we are quite a few numbers, so let's try to make that as smooth as possible and be short and to the point. I will start with myself, and I met most of you already. My name is Emmanuel, and I come from Sweden, Stockholm. I've been an intern at the Institute now for 3 months, I think, a little bit more maybe. And I asked you to maybe say something about your hopes or dreams for the future. And I'm a modest man, so I hope that this conference goes well, and I wish for world peace. And maybe we can start to introduce the rest of the staff. Where is Randa Hafiz? Is she here?
Okay.
Great. We don't yet have a wireless microphone, so maybe if you could come here and just present yourself quite.
I know everyone, so.
You know.
Yeah, good morning. My name is Randa Hafiz, and I work as a program officer at the Institute. I've been working in the Institute since 2002, and welcome to Tunis. I introduced my colleague Samah Souka, and she will be filming the whole thing. And Ahmed, would you like to come introduce yourself? So Ahmed will be responsible, as Emmanuel said, for the payments, and please help him as much as you can. It's not an easy job, so whatever you have to submit it immediately to give him just time. Thank you.
Okay, so let's start the introduction. I put a microphone there. I hope it will be able to reach around. So maybe we can start with you there.
Hello everybody, I'm Amira Muhammad Abu Hussein. I'm working as a logistics coordinator at the boutique of Katrina. The extra work or my volunteer work as a general secretary for mediation for community development organization. This is NGO. I wish this organization, this workshop provide me more peace ideas to get my inner peace. Something like this.
Tunisia and the political challenge that we are facing in Tunisia, and some thoughts about youth and civil society in Tunisia. So I hope this small lecture can give you a better understanding about what's going on in Tunisia. Actually, in Tunisia, we are in the middle of the transition period. We, of course, kick out our dictator in 14th of January. Then we had a very important day, which is the 23rd of October, in which we elect the new constitutional assembly that will write the new constitution in Tunisia. And then the Constitutional Assembly wrote an interim constitution for 1 year, actually, till that we wrote and published the new constitution. We have now an interim president and an interim government, with a coalition of 3 parties, the most successful, as we can say, party in the last election, Nahda and Takatul and CPR party, with different ideology, of course, Islamist and Social Democrat and moderate nationalist. In 1 year, actually, there is an agreement, a moral agreement of those parties that the Constitutional Assembly will have a mandate for to write a constitution in 1 year, 1 year and a half maximum. So this is about the transition, the current political situation. But as we can see now in Tunisia, we are facing a political challenge, the political transition challenge, that we can summarize them in 3 big points. First of all is the issue of reform. We are, of course, we still facing remain of dictatorship, of more than 50 years of dictatorship in Tunisia. So we are facing a challenge for the security reform, which is not really easy, neither for the new government or for the Tunisia in general. The judiciary system as well, and the media reform, because under Ben Ali regime, as you can heard about it, it was the police catch the people, and the judges put them in the jail, and the media, treat them as badly. So this are the pillar of dictatorship. So if we don't move further in reforming this three issue, we cannot be we cannot guarantee the new democratic Tunisia. Second challenge is building the new system and writing, which means writing the new constitution, getting the fair election in 1 year with a new parliament and new president, which means building the new structure of democracy in Tunisia and the new social contract. So this is what I call it, building the new system in Tunisia, which is a big challenge as well. The third one is the social economic challenge in Tunisia, because we cannot fulfill the revolution without having dignity, which means in part of it at least development and employment. So we are in Tunisia facing the problem of unequal distribution of wealth between the coast and the interior, inland Tunisia, cities like Garsa, Sidi Bouzid, Kasserine, and I think that you heard about it in the media, and employment as well, because we have now more than 800,000 unemployed youth in Tunisia, with 3 million, just 3 million active population, so it's a huge number actually. To fulfill this, three challenge, reform, building the new system, and social economic problem, we are facing some, tension and problem that not allowed us to move further to fulfill this issue.
Actually start with a question, since Mr. Mahdi is a politician, so I hope he would answer that question for the people present here, especially the Swedes who have come here to and I quote, learn from our, and I quote again, revolutions. So my question is, you said that we don't have actually any strong any youth movements in Tunisia, and I agree. And my question would be, would you be able to tell our guests here why we don't have in Tunisia? It's completely subjective. It's so you may answer the question the way you like. Then again, I have a couple of observations to make here, which again they are subjective, so they are from my own point of view. I start with with what you said about associations and NGOs in Tunisia. The fact that we now have 2,000, and I think we do have that number. But I work with a international foundation, which I'm not allowed to name here because I'm not representing them actually. So and our job is to give to fund and give grants to those to these associations. And my job in this foundation is actually to revise and to look at the projects before sending them abroad to the headquarters. And I can tell you something, it's that practically nothing changed before or after the aforementioned revolution, which again is completely subjective because not many people believe in revolution here in Tunisia. Did civil society actually change? I don't agree. The same people are still in charge. In order to have a grant here and to do any effective job in Tunisia, you need to know someone. and it's not. And the problem here is that it does not only have to do with local organizations who give grants and funds, but the biggest problem, in my opinion, is that it has to do also with foreign support from big countries who are officially promoting democracy and who are not actually. And again, some things I cannot say here, but I guess in off-the-record conversations with Tunisians who are here, they may share them with you. Then again, the observations of the elections, I don't think that they went that well. We all know that many trespassings have been reported and that they have not been taken into consideration, or not all of them anyway. So I don't believe that the elections have been in any way messed up, or that there's been any. I believe that the results that came out of the polls are true, and there's been no corruption during in the results, but there's been a lot during the campaigns, and this corruption has to do with political money, with foreign powers funding important political parties here, which means that all is not well too. And my last remark, I'm sorry if it's been a bit too long, but it's because I'm going to be here only today, so I wanted to say what I had to say now, since I'll be busy tomorrow and on Sunday too. About optimism, I don't think that most Tunisians are optimistic. I do talk with many people outside, and
with the fact of participation, I didn't think to win. I think just to participate. But there are different points of view regarding my participation. Some people appreciate that, especially that I am a young woman, but others didn't like it, and they said, "A young girl in politics? What is this?" And they underestimated me. But this makes me it makes me stronger, and my will to resume strengthens. It was not an obstacle, but the way it motivates me to continue. And some people felt pity of me. They said, "Oh, poor soul, she's young in politics." But I proved that yes, I can do it. Yes, I can do it. This is my slogan during the campaign. Yes, I can do it. Yes, we can do it. Yes, because I believe that future is for us. Future is for youth. So why we make other people and old people with no offense decide instead of us? The future is for us. They will write a constitution that will rule us. And why we make these people decide instead of us? We should share and we should participate. So I decided to participate and to be in. I faced many problems really during the political campaign, because it was strange that a girl and a young girl is in the top of the list of candidates. I was on the top of list, and this is why many other candidates didn't really care about me. They said, "She's young, let her." They didn't care. They didn't really think that people will vote for me and I'll win. So they didn't care when they found me encircled by people and they asked me about the program and doing reunions and people are around me and asking about me. They didn't really care. But they forget, these people who were candidates, they forget that the revolution was actually made by youth. And that people did trust youth because the youth did really change. They can change history. We kick out our president. Old people don't dare to talk about politics anymore. But we, youth, we are another generation, a strange generation. We kicked out the president, and people here trust youth, and this is why they vote for me. Because I'm young, and young people make the revolution. I believe in many things. I believe that I'm young, but I believe that I can be the voice of youth in the assembly. And I'm a woman, and I am the voice of women in the assembly. I'm multicolor. I'm a student, I'm jobless, I'm young, I'm woman. I can be the voice of all these people in the assembly. And I hope that I can see more young people